This is a Pursuit Power episode, which means we mash up multiple celebrity guest answers and insights all to the same question or about the same subject. This time we're talking about gratitude.
So what I do is I concentrate for 3.5 minutes on just 3 things every morning that I'm incredibly grateful for. And I pick one of them and I make it really simple, like the wind on my face or the smile on one of my children's faces. So I don't just have to have a giant thing to be grateful. And the reason I go into gratitude is most people are wired for stress. They're wired for fear. They're wired for pissed off. And they've got a dirt road to happiness. And neurologically, the more you go into a state, the more wired you get to do it automatically. So I know that fear and anger are the things that mess people up. You cannot be grateful and be fearful simultaneously. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. So what I do is I wire myself every morning in a very associated way that makes me feel that feeling. And it's such a beautiful balance.
Think about how would you value your life at the end? Figure out the questions you're going to ask at the end of your life. Figure out what questions you'd ask to see if you were happy with your life. Then wake up every day, live intentionally so you're happy with the answers at the end.
And I feel lucky and blessed at the same time to be able to just write something and have anybody read it. To me, that's, amazing.
Right? Yeah. So no matter how much I've accomplished, I stand at the foot of the mountain and I go, oh my God, I'm so much more to do.
Yeah.
And I love that.
But just the ability to be heard is worth the pursuit. And then you slowly change from being blessed because you get to be heard. And I think part of it, Kelsey, is just getting older, that you get a little more interested in making sure that other people get heard.
Anytime I do this, I'm so thankful that people want me to do this. I will never get too big to think this isn't cool, that people want to hear me, that people want me on, that I can, by being on it, I can help you. Like, sending that retweet helps you. You're about to pick up fans. I like that. Anyway, I put it on myself to talk about things a little bit differently, even with my show and my Daily V. I want to bring you value for your show to make it a worthwhile thing for my fan base. I'm scared to talk about it as a regret because it's not truly a regret. It's a maybe I would tweak a little bit, but when you make your bed, you're not allowed to complain.
Look, there are some sacrifices, if you will. I mean, certain amounts of privacy. Sometimes my kids will complain, and I understand, and it's valid. But I also say, look, guys, we also get to do some pretty amazing things, and get to see some pretty amazing things, and go some pretty amazing places.
I am lucky because my background is life coaching, and personal development is the basis, and spiritual development of everything that I do, and it's just part of what I'm extremely passionate about as a human being. And so, if you show up in every moment like you're fully meant to be there, everything else works out. Everything else is incredibly satisfying.
I can create my own life. Like, I don't have to be miserable. Like, this is awesome, So I started really, shifting how I talked. I used to be a horrible complainer, like really, really, really bad complainer. Once I let a lot of that go, things in my life just started happening and happening and happening and happening.
Which is every day try to solve a difficult gratitude problem. Because I think then you exercise and you make this gratitude muscle sweat, and that actually makes you good at it, which has surprising benefits. Like, no one thinks, oh, how can I be good at gratitude? It's actually really hard. And to exercise, to make that muscle sweat is incredibly valuable.
But I don't hope I'm going to show up well. It's like, an athlete doesn't hope they're going to have muscle. You work it out.
Like, I really didn't even know really much what gratitude was, which was really sad because, the way I was raised, it wasn't where people were really showing appreciation for you. Or for even things. They were mostly complaining all the time, which is why I was such a complainer. And so when I started learning about gratitude and focusing on gratitude, I have like my gratitude journal, and every single day, I say the things I appreciate, and I always make sure I write Mark Zuckerberg because he created Facebook, so awesome. you gotta thank Mark every day. Once I started focusing on that, things in my brain just started shifting.
Then I do 3 minutes of prayer for those that I love and for my own healing. And then I do 3 minutes where I think of what I call my 3 to thrive. What are the 3 most important outcomes I'm working on over the next 90 days or 6 months or 12 months? And I see them as done, completed, finished. I give thanks for it. and then I'm done.
The landscape of life is how can I be as fully present in this moment and have so much fun and squeeze every drop out of my life, knowing it's not going to last that long. And like, we don't know, could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and to feel any sort of consistent angst like you're not good enough or you're not there yet is such a disrespect to this precious life that we have. And so there's always going to be other things to create and achieve, but it can never be better than it is right now if you really, really let yourself experience how good it is.
For being able to actually have the power and the experience of making your dream come true, just like you see in the movies, and without with all the same detail. Is such a gift in life, and not one that a lot of people get to realize. And so I would give up so much rather than give up that. That's tremendously satisfying.
Here's my #1 key to success for the rest of us when it comes to having an attitude of gratitude. Just thinking about being grateful, you guys, is not enough. Successful people incorporate a gratitude practice, or as I like to call, a gractus, which means we need to have a daily practice where we incorporate gratitude. That could be morning or evening. It could be writing a few short things, or it could be writing at length about one thing. It could be voice memos or written notes, or I like to use the digital notes app on my iPhone. Figure out a method that will work for you where you'll actually stick with it, because having a gractus can change your day-to-day life.